All right. Hello, everyone. It is now 4:31, and I'm going to read the special note at the beginning of the meeting. This meeting shall be conducted pursuant to Minnesota Statute 13D-021, and members may appear electronically. Should any member appear electronically, all votes shall be taken by roll call, and each member of the board will be able to hear each other. No public comment shall be taken at this meeting, and public access will be restricted to comply with state health guidance during the pandemic. Comments can be sent to pgurung@rplmn.org and will be shared with the board. So this meeting will be called to order. And first piece of business is approval of the agenda. So seeking a motion to approve. I think I heard Omar approve. Is there a second?
I'll second. This is Erin.
Thank you, Erin. Second from Erin. So now we will take a vote by roll call. I'm going to go with the order I see you on my screen. So starting with Adam.
Aye, I approve.
Kristen.
I approve. Aye, sorry.
Omar.
Aye.
And Erin.
Aye.
Ken.
Aye.
I, Antonia, also approve. Have I forgotten anyone?
Stephanie's here. Aye.
Sorry, Stephanie.
It's okay.
Sarah, also here. Also aye.
Arhan?
Yeah, aye as well.
All right, thank you all. Motion passes. Second order of business is approval of the consensus agenda. Seeking a motion to approve.
So moved,
This is
Brown.
Kristen. Oh, sorry.
All right, so we have a motion from Ken to approve. And then Kristen, would you like to second since you're about
I'll second.
Okay, perfect. A second from Kristen. Thank you very much. So now we will do roll call. So Adam?
Here.
Sorry, that was to approve the motion.
Oh, sorry. Aye.
Thank you. Kristen?
Aye.
Stephanie?
Aye.
Arhan?
Aye.
Omar?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Erin?
Aye.
Ken?
Aye.
And then for myself, Antonia, aye. Before I move on to President's business, I do realize that I did not take an actual roll call at the beginning of the meeting, so I am going to go back and do that if that's okay. So a retroactive roll call. So let's start with Adam.
Here.
Kristen.
Here.
Stephanie.
Present.
Arhan.
Here.
Omar.
Here.
Sarah.
Here.
Ken.
Here.
Erin.
Here.
And who am I forgetting that is not present? Josh? Not here. And then who is also not present?
Jenny said she
Thank
would not
you.
be present.
Thank you very much, Prina. Perfect. All right. Moving on to President's business. First up, we have 5.A, the foundation report.
Hi, this is Brenda with the foundation. Wit, Wisdom, and Wine went really well virtually. We got a lot of great feedback, although people would prefer to be back in the library. We're down a little bit in fundraising over last year, but if you take the fall auction that we kind of split off, we would be up just a touch. So all in all, not too bad. And then we've been kind of working on doing some advocating for the Charter Commission, but I'll leave that report to you all later.
All right, thank you so much, Brenda. Next up, we have the Friends report. Do we have a Friends report today? Okay.
Karen, do you want to give about the grant?
Yes, the Friends did receive a second grant from the Rochester Area Foundation in the amount of, I believe, $11,800. So kudos to them for securing that grant from RAF.
All right, thank you very much, Karen. Sorry, I am just trying to escape the noise of children. Next, we have the Selco report. Audrey, can you do the Selco report as you prepare those materials?
Sure. So the great news is that that Selco is going to be putting in their application for the Regional Library Telecommunications Aid, the RLTA money, to do Blue Cloud Mobile, which is the app. And if you will recall, that's part of our action plans. So this is totally aligned, and it'll pay 100% of the costs, except for implementation. I mean, we'll have to, it'll take staff time to implement, but that's a huge boost for us. And so we appreciate that. And you'll see that we'll also get some digital content as well. So we appreciate the partnership with Selco to make one of our action plan items move forward. And we know that the community will love it. It'll make our collection even more accessible.
That's awesome. Thank you, Audrey. Next, we have 5.D, the Youth Representative Report.
Yeah, I can start out with that. So for the Youth Representative Report for this month, not too much has changed, but as you all know, with changed a lot of things. And I guess looking forward to the future, a lot of students are worried about the possibility of going back to school and the possibility
Sarah,
of not going back to school.
For 1 second. I'm having a little trouble hearing you, and I'm just wondering if everyone else is. Sorry, you're crackling a little bit. Do you think you're able to just try repeating that?
Yeah, is this any better?
Not much. Sorry.
Huh. Interesting. If I speak closer my mic, is that any
You sound
better?
clear right now. This is perfect.
Okay, perfect. So just let me know if anything changes where you can't hear me, but I will continue on like this. So
sounds good.
Not a ton has changed for students since our last report. Beyond that of the school board decision, a lot of students are feeling very anxious and worried about the possibility of both going back to school in person and not going back to school in person. So I think just the support that the library is already giving to students, and I know that we would normally have both mental health services and just accessibility in that regard. So just having those types of services available will be very important just for students going back to school. And I know you guys have done great work with also the bookmobile. Of course, in the cold days, we can't have that as much as we would normally, but just keeping that Wi-Fi accessibility for students is another important thing. So I think those are the biggest updates from our youth representative. I don't know, Arhan can probably add some more stuff.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Sarah. So I think Sarah mostly covered what's going on within youth in the community, especially within the Youth Commission. Something else that's happening next week, actually on Wednesday the 24th, I believe it's Wednesday the 24th. A couple youth commissioners along with and I are presenting to the Rochester City Council for the work that Youth Commission has done over the span of its existence, I guess, or at least the last 5 years recently. And I think it was like a salient point to bring up just because of the library's situation with the Charter Commission and the Rochester City Council. And I had a short discussion with Mary Gorfine about that actually. And Antonia, I read your letter. I think you put the points you put out were very like succinct, and I think that it embodied the basic sort of mindset that all of us have. And I just reciprocated what you were discussing to Mary. So I know that's coming up on the agenda, but I'd like to know more about that whole situation and like what was like the reasoning behind it and how like proceedings are going to follow. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Got you. I appreciate that. And I know we're going to discuss that in more detail today and moving forward. I would be really interested to understand more about what the Youth Commission talks about and how you all feel about your role in, not just the library board, but your various boards and community advocacy. So please bring that back to the next meeting, if that's okay.
Yeah, we'll do.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Antonia?
Yes.
I forgot under the Selco report that there's an action item to approve the Selco membership agreement.
Oh, I saw that and I wasn't 100% sure since we didn't touch on it.
I'm sorry, I jumped right over it. I was so excited to talk about Blue Cloud Mobile.
Okay, perfect. So if we go back to 5.C, there is 5.C1, I think it is, or is it? Yeah, 5.C1A, which is the Selco Southeastern Libraries Cooperating Public Library Membership Agreement. And we do have to approve that. Audrey, do you want to talk about it first for the board?
Sure. So Selco what was happening is there was kind of a circular thing happening. There were certain things in the bylaws that that these two documents kind of, one would keep referring to the other. And so they've been cleaning that up. And so as a way, what they asked is that they asked a number of library directors to participate in this, and I was one of them that did. So I don't have any concerns with what's in the membership agreement. And a reminder, there's no cost to be a member. We actually lose some services if we're not a member of Selco. But this was more of a cleanup than any major changes. And some clarifications where, especially because there's been a lot of newer directors in Selco, it was like, well, what does this really mean? And so we really tried to make it a clearer document.
Gotcha. Is there anyone who can give a motion to approve this document?
This is Erin. I'll motion to approve.
Okay, so I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I second Stephanie.
All right, we have a second from Stephanie. Thank you. Now we'll take a vote via roll call. So I'll start with Adam.
Aye.
Stephanie.
Aye.
Kristen.
Aye.
Arhan.
Aye.
Omar.
Aye.
Sarah.
Aye.
Erin.
Aye.
Ken.
Aye.
And then for myself, Antonia, aye. So moving on to 5.E1, which is committee assignments. I unfortunately do not have those completed, but we'll send them out tonight. I'm going to be very transparent and just let you guys know that between some family stuff and the city council meeting yesterday, I was fully distracted, but I will send that out tonight, and I apologize. On public record, which is embarrassing. Next up, we have new business. Do we have any new business, Audrey? I'm sure we do.
Actually, well, this is old business, the Charter Commission.
Well, I know, but we had a small piece of new business I thought we were going to bring forward from the executive meeting where we said that we would note to the board that in the executive meeting we discussed a particular topic and we made X decision and we wanted to make sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And it's in the minutes that were sent out, the executive committee minutes that were sent out.
Yes.
So if there's any questions about that, feel free to ask us. But there was an item that was talked about at the last board meeting, that something that happened in the Charter Commission meeting, and the executive committee discussed it, and the comment did not come to the library board, so we just left it alone.
If there are any other questions, please feel free to come to Audrey or myself to discuss it more. Next, we have old business, starting with the Charter Commission proposal 7.1. Audrey, I'll let you kick that off, to be honest. I feel like
sure. So
about it.
So as I emailed out last night, the city council did vote 6-1 to deny the Charter Commission's proposal. So now what will happen is the Charter, it'll go back, it is denied. So the Charter Commission then will have to decide what they want to do with it. So they really have three options. It can just be done, or they can come forward with a separate proposal, or if they want to take the current proposal forward, they would have to decide to take it to a referendum. And so their next meeting is in March, and I will definitely be in attendance to hear what they decide to do.
And to add to that, one thing I want to share is it became really obvious over the course of the past month that a lot of people, even those on the commission, truly don't understand the boundaries around the library, board's power, and then really how we drive decision making and advance the library's mission. And so I think it'd be in our interest, given all of the, potential changes coming in this year, to maybe do an information campaign, cough, cough, Karen, where we really try to share more information on, what the library does, because that's always useful for the community, and then how the board plays a part in that. I was talking to a commission member, and that person did not really recognize that our power is limited, and that we're not making the level of decisions that I feel like people think we are. So what do you think about that, Audrey, and the rest of the board? What are your thoughts on making that one of our goals of 2021?
Yeah, I'd like to hear what the board says.
I, for one, Arhan here, by the way. I, for one, think that's a really good idea, because I know, because I'm on the board at least, that the people here are very they know the most about the library and how it should function, and they're all good-hearted with proper intentions, namely equity for one. And I think it would be really beneficial for the people of the community to know that as well.
I think this is a great opportunity too, since it's already kind of out in the open and it's been through the city council and everything. There's no better opportunity than to show them what we do and what we're limited by, and what we're trying to accomplish.
Thank you, Josh. I completely agree. Anybody else?
Yeah, so I would just say that I agree completely. I think that given the city council's decision, this would be a great opportunity to show that the library board is really interested in that transparency and in educating the community on the roles that we have, and of course, the boundaries of our decision-making power. And I think that would be a really great way to kind of mend those bridges and help even the people who may be more outspoken about either being against what they think the library board has done. But I think it's a really great opportunity to just educate everyone in our community on what we do and how we come to the decisions that we do.
Thank you, Sarah. And you said something that I think really resonates to me, which is education, as a place of learning. I think that if we recognize that there's a gap within our own community, whether we don't understand what we do or even how charter boards are set up, that's an opportunity for us to educate. So if there's no one opposed, I might seek maybe a motion on kind of creating information or generating information around this so that it's formalized. Audrey, do you have any opposition to that?
I don't. No.
Okay. So
I motion for it.
Perfect. Thank you. And the motion would be specifically for a education campaign around what the library is doing and how the library board plays a role in that. Do I have a second?
This is Erin. I'll second.
Thank you very much. We will do votes via roll call. So I will start with Adam.
Aye.
And Kristen.
Aye.
Josh.
Aye.
Stephanie.
Aye.
Arhan.
Aye.
Omar.
Aye.
Sarah.
Aye.
Erin.
Aye.
Ken.
Aye.
And I for me, Antonia. So next, do we want to talk about this more actually before we move on? Other questions from board members? Not even a little feeling of satisfaction, victory. I feel really good knowing that we're able to continue to advance the library's mission. I feel very privileged that we have that opportunity. So
sorry.
No, that's okay.
This is Kristen. I was just going to echo that same sentiment. I'm very excited. I'm sorry I wasn't able to attend the meeting yesterday, but I was listening while I was at work during that time, and it really satisfaction, like you said, Antonia, is very the word that comes to the forefront for me. It just I know I feel honored as a new board member that I can contribute now in the same way you all wonderful people have done for years. So I'm very excited to continue to do that, and now we have a plan in place to educate our community, to have them learn exactly what we do and what limitations we have and what influence we actually have. And I think this is great. I think I'm excited moving forward about I'm just very happy. I just want to also thank Antonia and everyone, for anyone who spoke yesterday at the board meeting. It was just wonderful to watch, and I'm just very excited. So that's what I was just gonna say, that sentiment. So
I'm happy to hear, because I just feel I'm quite pleased. And Audrey, I'm very appreciative to you for speaking, and all the community members who spoke up in our defense. So
this is Erin. I'll just add, I really appreciate Kristen's comments. I agree with them entirely. The thing I would add is just the strong vote from the council is just, it's votes in our direction as far as we're doing a good job, and they trust that we're doing a good job, and they're really supportive of what we do. And I think that means a lot to the community as well.
So now that we've had a little moment to celebrate, anyone else wants to say anything before we move on to 7.2?
I will just add that I thought it was incredibly respectful all the way around, and I really appreciated that.
As it should be, Audrey, and I agree with you. All right, so we'll move to 7.2, education of City Council on space planning. Sorry, Audrey, that pause was for either you or Erin.
Okay, so at the executive committee meeting, we talked about that the fact is we need to do some more education with City Council. With so many new City Council members, we really need to make sure they understand where the library board is at, as well as where we've been. What's kind of the history, what's driving the strategic planning, why we're what is the need. And we want to make sure that, and Karen, are you going to jump in here? Thank you. And Karen has a draft of a document, but we're also looking to have board members, that this wouldn't just be me talking to city council, but we'd be looking for all board members to participate in these conversations. And with that, I'll turn it over to Karen.
Yeah, so for you, I apologize in advance. My computer has crashed right in the middle of streaming, so our millions of YouTube followers can't see us right now, and I'm sickened. But yeah, this is the draft, and again, we just kind of threw something on paper to give a chance for you to provide some feedback. And what I continue to, I guess, hear in the community is just this lack of understanding about how much of a longstanding issue the library's space needs really have been. And so we went with this idea of kind of a timeline that really takes you through, the conception of the library building, which was originally designed to be those 3 floors, and then the actual construction of the library building, which was 2 floors, when a lack of funding meant that a floor had to be cut from the building. We've also provided some information about what our stats were when we first opened the library. The collection size was different. The amount of square feet per person was different. The number of people coming to our programs was really different. And of course, the population back in 1995 was different. And then throughout the timeline, we highlighted some of the key points all the way back to, I don't know if you can even hear me now. I'm getting searching for network.
We can hear you.
Can you still hear me?
Yes. I don't know if you can hear us though.
Okay. Am I back? Okay, good. Good thing I didn't say any bad words, because apparently you could hear me, but I could not see you. So go through from 2006, the board really identified we need to do something. We need to, add a 3rd floor. And in 2010, highlighting that, we stepped before the City Sales Tax Advisory Committee. Again, in 2012, the new at the time strategic plan that really shifted a lot of our work towards having space for programming as libraries have continued to evolve, as they always do, and this need for a space, a gathering space for community members, really was identified in 2012. And that commitment, that was a big swerve that led to this commitment to really providing the programming that community members were looking for. And then also highlighting the proposal back in 2016 to expand 2 floors. And that leads us to today, where we're at with a 37% increase in our population, a 59% increase in the collection size for our library collection, and then this decrease in the amount of space really that's available per person in our building right now. And that giant increase in the number of people coming to library programs, which I know is a little different right now in COVID times. But when we flip over to the backside, we talk a little bit about some of those things that were highlighted in the document that you all worked on, really reiterating, the commitment to providing some solution for the space needs and planning for the future, and also highlighting that we need a downtown presence, that the board is really committed to those two key points. And then talking a little bit about why downtown and how it is centrally located. I think this map really shows well that it's this central location for the community. And then also talking a little bit about why not branches, and also why are we even having this discussion right now during a pandemic. So I know this is a lot to throw at you, and I'd love to have you all really look at this and offer some extensive feedback, but I'm also open to initial thoughts that you have of what we're missing, what we should be including, not be including, any feedback you have.
Karen, I want to say that I think this looks great. I think it's now going to add, right, to the informational campaign that we'll have around what we're doing and really help the public understand the decisions that we're making. And I really appreciate you taking the time to put this together. One minor addition, Karen, for the back, where we say why not branches, I think it would be helpful for us to add a note about the bookmobile. Just highlight that we do have a way of extending resources into these communities, even if people can't come to us.
Excellent. Well, like I said, I know this is throwing out a lot. I'll be emailing this out, and I would love your toughest, harshest criticisms and comments, because we really want this to be, the best, most usable document as those meetings start to happen, both with City Council and then also this informational campaign begins.
All right, I think Karen deserves a little finger snap of applause, though, because she put this together pretty quickly. So, little finger snaps. There we go, Karen.
Karen,
That's the best we can muster up for applause.
Agree. Thanks, Karen.
It was all Nicole. All Nicole.
So
Karen and Nicole.
So hearing, if there's no objections, we'll start working with board members to set up meetings with City Council. Is that?
Yep.
I didn't hear any dissent, so I want to make sure, and we'll arrange that. But we'll help get that figured out.
That sounds good. All right, moving on to 8, directors informational items, and we have a library services update.
So last Friday, the risk dial went down from severe to high. So we opened internet by appointment today. So that is a change. But we continue to look at the data to make the decisions on how we move forward. And so that's a big change from the last time we talked. We've been in severe for months. So that's a big shift, and we're starting to plan for when we get to moderate. So because that will be when we open our doors again, but in an express way, not we won't have people who can come in and stay for hours and hours, because we know that with COVID, it's about how long you're exposed, and capacity of the building, those kinds of things. So it will not be like it was, but we know people are really anxious to get into the building. But we'll continue to provide curbside because we know there are people who still are not ready and want a contactless option. So that's where we're at today, and we're continuing to plan. Any questions?
Thank you for the transparency. It's much appreciated.
Sure.
All right, so next up, we do have sharing strengths. I don't recall there being anything for sharing strengths today.
No, I did not have anything specific.
Okay. Any questions across the board? Anything that needs to be discussed before we adjourn? No.
I'll just add a couple more things about service.
Okay.
I really want to commend the call center. They have been extremely busy, and lots of questions on vaccine, and they've really been doing an amazing job. Big shout out. And we continue to have, to support the day center. and working with the landing. They shared a statistic with us earlier in the week that since the beginning of February, they have seen 134 unique individuals who are experiencing homelessness. So, you know, we still have great need in our community.
Thank you, Audrey. Any other questions or comments from the board before we adjourn? All right. Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned, and thank you everyone for your time. I look forward to our March meeting. Have a great day, everybody.
Hi, thank you.
Love you.
Thank you all. Have a good day.